Okay, so this is just going to be a quick message, sort of like a channel message. It's not going to be very long. I'm not sure exactly which page I'm going to put it on. I may put it on all three, but I feel like this message may be for somebody. Somebody possibly really needs to hear this. When we're dealing with traumatic experiences in our life of abusive relationships with our family, assaults that we may have experienced, different situations that we found ourselves in life that caused some type of traumatic experience. It's important to be compassionate and understanding to yourself, because sometimes we find ourselves going back, definitely when it comes to like codependency, like we find ourselves going backwards, or like certain things that we're exposed to, certain triggers. It can be a person, place, or a thing can be a trigger. You may find yourself resulting back to old behaviors or being very codependent, and like afterwards, after you possibly been doing a lot of like shadow work and things like that, working on yourself, getting therapy, getting counseling, different things like that. And then when you are exposed to these situations, you find yourself regressing backwards. It's important to be patient and compassionate and understanding towards yourself, and allow yourself to experience these experiences, and try to be as aware and present in the present moment as possible. You know, Nobody is perfect. We're not here to be perfect. We're all just going through life, experiencing, learning, healing, growing. We are all going through things and having these different experiences, but we have to be able to understand our emotions and not become our emotions. Another thing that came to me, I was just thinking, I was having a moment where, I was going like regressing backwards, like having a lot of upstream thoughts. That's what yeah, a lot of upstream thoughts. And I had to kind of catch myself and try to figure out where these emotions were coming from. Where were these thoughts coming from? You know, and another a thing that came to me was, you can't get better in the same place that made you sick. That's what came to me. And, you know, understanding that, like, a lot of people are possibly in situations, they could be in, toxic family ties, or, just whatever situation where it's kind of hard for them to remove themselves from, whoever I'm speaking to. It's important, like I said, that you just continue to try to be patient with yourself, practice different meditation techniques and stuff like that. But also look into getting counseling and getting therapy, to help you understand what is going on with you, and also help you understand what steps you actually need to take so that you can enjoy, your life, and not constantly have to be in a perpetual state of fear, or, being triggered. So I just wanted to put this message out there. I'm not, I hope this reaches who is meant for. This is just something that came across to me while I was sitting and thinking, you know, everything is like a channel message. Everything is a message. Everything is like a message, and I just wanted to get this out there. So I hope that this helps somebody. And yeah, so whoever I'm speaking to, I hope you have an amazing, blessed day, and you know how important, amazing, and beautiful that you are. All right, bye.